Peter and Cleveland chat about local rascals. They consider these guys quite big time. The neighbors decide to handle it internally. Meanwhile, grocery bags sit heavily inside. The neighbor drops by with unsolicited advice. She warns Lois about ruining cast iron. Lois fires back with sarcastic frustration. Peter wants his sweet treats immediately. Lois stays busy typing on her phone. Peter rambles on about mailman nonsense. They lock the treats inside the cabinet. Stewie sneaks up to the kitchen cupboards. The baby criminal finds the stash easily. He tries some herbal gummies instead. Strange sensations start washing over him. Music plays while he tries to relax. Suddenly, paranoia creeps into his mind. Dark visions begin terrifying the baby. Nightmarish creatures chase him through the void. He survives the bizarre psychedelic trip. At school, kids discuss taking gap years. Stewie sits completely spaced out on top. His teacher immediately notices he is high. Back home, Peter watches television dramas. Joe arrives with alarming bad news. Lois is shocked to see Joe. Joe brings up weird vacation stories. He complains about extreme ziplining dangers. Lois takes her son back inside. Heartbroken, she cries over losing custody. Heartbroken, she cries over losing custody. Meanwhile, the baby stays with neighbors. Lois rushes through online parenting classes. Joe brags about his own comedy. He submits a satirical joke packet. His material targets political satire groups. Unfortunately, his historical references are outdated. The comedy troupe ultimately rejects him. Furious, Joe throws a massive tantrum. He threatens to scatter his bag. Lois desperately needs to finish courses. She answers mandatory harassment training questions. Meg leaves town with magic friends. Joe explains his dated political sketch. Suddenly, the doorbell rings loudly. Stewie returns wearing a Walgreens bag. Lois hugs her baby back home. She promises nothing like this happens. New strict household safety rules emerge. Bedroom doors must remain wide open. Instead, they implement a buddy system. Peter agrees with the new rules. He learns parenting from sports fights. Peter tries reading a book instead. Lois panics when they disappear. She demands the book be removed. Constant supervision becomes the new normal. Political jokes continue in the background. Rebelling against strict household rules begins. Stewie seeks out Brian for help. Meg packs her things and leaves. Lois searches everywhere for missing Peter. She worries things could get much worse. Stewie drops edibles into his mother's drink. The gummies dissolve completely into the glass. Lois blissfully takes a long sip. The drugged wine reaches the glass rim. Suddenly, the baby starts speaking out loud. He complains about cheap grocery store wipes. Lois is completely stunned by his words. She struggles to believe he is talking. They break out into theatrical song. Lois thoroughly enjoys the musical moment. Both of them are completely high now. Lois realizes how totally zonked she feels. Talking with her baby feels wonderful. She vents her frustrations about Peter. Marrying young turns out quite regretful. Lois recalls Peter looking surprisingly handsome. Stewie brags about his future trust fund. They relax together on the living room rug. Lois blames her clumsy pregnancy on Chris. They reminisce about old shopping malls. Lois admits she struggles with motherhood. They share a twisted sense of humor. The pair decides to go on a trip. They head out for a movie night. Inside the theater, they watch a film. Stewie brutally criticizes Bonnie's attitude. Philip Seymour Hoffman suddenly appears on screen. The waitress also works a side job. They decide to grab some dinner. Lois recognizes their waitress from earlier. They finally have a real talk. Lois admits her true inner feelings. Stewie questions why she acts submissive. He wonders if she hates him. Stewie feels he shares her traits. A moment of realization hits them. They sit in thoughtful, quiet silence. Lois warns him about his behavior. She promises to love him always. Being a kid is enough now. They enjoy their meal together happily. Lois jokes about their silly game. Stewie is shocked by her change. She reveals a wild college secret. They spent nights playing silly games. It truly was a crazy time. Lois offers to teach him songs. They agree to face Bonnie together. Lois tells him he tries hard. They might get an easy assist. They plan a fun mother trip. Lois mocks his earlier cookie tantrum. Stewie explains his lack of control. He feels trapped in his life. Stewie appreciates her honest, motherly advice. He asks if she still plans. Suddenly, Joe finds messes outside lawn. Exhausted, the duo sighs with relief. The long, wild night finally ends. They barely recall the crazy events. A special bond formed between them. They feel like everything has changed. Suddenly, a loud wail breaks out. They have run out of wipes. The credits roll on their adventure.